So welcome back again today, guys. Today we have a special video to talk about. This is uncoding more history, and we're going to get right into it today. So today we're talking about Malik Ambar. Yes, Malik Ambar. Malik Ambar was born in 1546 in East African country of Ethiopia, and Ambar was one of the thousands of Africans who were sold into slavery in the Middle East and in India. Ambar was born with the name Chapu, but was later called Ambar, and he was stripped of his name and his homeland and also his family as well. He was sold to an Arab slave merchant who then carried him by caravan across the Red Sea to what is today Yemen in the Middle East. And he was then sold by the Arab to another Arab and sent to Baghdad, which is in modern day Iraq in the Middle East, where he was he worked for the new merchant and he acquired different kind of skills. Now Ambar also learned many things on this route, and he was then sold for the third time. He got sold a lot of time to a merchant in Deccan, and he was then sold for the fourth and last time to Genghis Khan in India. Now Genghis Khan was the Ethiopian, or was an Ethiopian like Ambar, who occupied in the post of Regent Minister of the Sultanate of Nizam in the city of Ahmednagar. Let's say that, Ahmednagar. So for 22 years, Ambar, which was now a Muslim, served Khan, who converted into Islam but was no longer a slave. And during Ambar's time with Khan, he assumed great responsibility over time in the Nizam Sultanate, and especially in the Nizam court as well. And this is where he learned to observe military strategy, political organization, as well as diplomacy and crucial training that he carried into his life as a free man. Now, when Khan, Ambar's ruler, died in 1594, Ambar was freed by Khan's wife. Though the Mughals, which are the North Asian Mongolians, for people that might not know, had conquered the city. And this would be the start of Ambar's formidable career, and also a historical event. Let's get it out. The historical event for the state of Deccan. Now, 1 year later, in 1594, Ambar would escape the city and then gather a cavalry of 150 men and begin organizing a rebel army, which soon grew into thousands and thousands of people. Within 6 years after, in 1600, Ambar was a full-fledged mercenary general. Now, Ambar became hope for people in India. They didn't want to see the Mughal take over. They didn't want to see their dynasty and their kingdom take over India and that city. So he was the hope for the people in India and the city, and he was the hope to resist the Mughals' empire and their spread of power into the Deccan. Now, Ambar led wars with the Mughals, and in one occasion took only 10,000 troops against, yes, only 10,000 troops against the Mughal ruler of Jahangir. And Jahangir had 40,000 troops, and Ambar defeated him in a gruesome battle with only 10,000 troops. That's amazing. And Ambar and the Mongols were very even for a while. Even after this battle, were very even for a while, and not being able to gain ground on either side, whether it be Ambar and his army or the Mughals. Now, Ambar soon after defeated two Mongol empires, seized Mongol ships and captured a Mongol city, and then made that city pay him tribute. He was that kind of man. Now, he trained his troops to fight in the art of guerrilla warfare, and for 25 years, Ambar's army was inspirational for those who resisted the Mongol occupation in southern India. They didn't want that, and he was a big inspiration to the people, local people and regional people around that area. By 1620, Ambar's army was a staggering number of 50,000 men, as we stated, and the amazing part was that 40,000 of these men were Indian Hindu warriors, and the other 10,000 were fellow Africans. But this fighting style, guerrilla fighting style, was made famous by Ambar, in which the Indian Hindus were soon known to fight like. So he made that style popular for the Indian Hindus, which is amazing. And Ambar by then had installed two young princes into the Nizam throne, and he also made himself regent minister, de facto ruler with power in his hand, meaning he had all the power. And he also married his daughter off to a high society Indian family, so that his family would always be part of royal and high society in India as well. But at one point, the British also had to throw their little, cup of tea into the mix, and the British arrived in India and had their try at Ambar as well. The English wanted to use the land that Ambar had as a base for their colony, but Ambar did not agree with this. He didn't want that, and he stopped their advance and also rejected their bribery. The English soon tried to oust Ambar by conspiracy. They tried so many conspiracy theories to oust him from his kingdom, but it did not work, and Ambar retaliated by seizing English caravans worth 200,000 rupee. So the English then took one of Ambar's ships and demanded that their money be paid back to them. But Ambar reminded them that they had one of his ships and said, yo, there's no deal. You got one of my ships, there's no deal. He was that type of man. So Ambar also forged alliance along India's western coast with the African descended sailors turned rulers of Janjira Island, and his innovative techniques in guerrilla warfare included the use of artillery and elephants, preventing the Mongols and English from occupying the southern half of India during his time. And this endlessly frustrated a lot of the emperor rulers of the Mongols and the British. And the Mongols actually referred to him as the rebel of black fortune. Yes, the rebel of black fortune. Yes, he was. And in 1619, Ambar founded the city of Kadki, and he built several palaces, developed an irrigation water system that was advanced for the time, patronized Hindu and Muslim craftsmen and artists, and married his daughter and son, like I stated, into families of Indian nobility. Marrying inside of the Indian society, this integrated Africans into the elite of South Asian society when there was none of that going on for the most part. When Ambar died in 1626, he was known across Deccan as one of the greatest leaders of the region. Ambar did amazing things. He built, as we stated, he built sophisticated water systems. He built churches for the Christians. He raised monuments, and he also raised his army in Deccan, where he led the area's most powerful army against the Mughal rule. And he was a ruler, a general. He was smart, and he started all from slavery and moved up to being one of the sultanates, famous ones of India and Indian and African history. And this was a very amazing man. I mean, think about all that he accomplished, starting from the beginning of his life, probably not thinking he was going to be too much of anything with his situation of being traded so much into slavery, and then rising to a general and high status in India, and building monuments and churches and water systems and innovation and all sorts of things that make great leaders. So today we learn about a black man that was some black man, but now we know him as Malik Ambar. And now you can never say you don't know, because when you read and you study and you listen, you learn. So there was a lot of Africans around the world doing things throughout all of history. Don't ever let anybody lie to you and make you think that there wasn't. We were doing many things in this world, and we always have, always will, always was, since the beginning. So to all my African people, we learned about another people. To all my Ethiopian people, you learned about another, man from Ethiopia that did great things. Started out bad, but did great things. And to all my black people, African people around the world, as always, know yourself and try to learn as much as possible. Stay safe. One love. I'm out.
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
Shalom.
What up?
Hi.
Africa.